And it looks like we are rolling. Hello, everyone. I am Alexi. I will be emceeing the game this evening. You can follow all of my gaming endeavors online at Cloven Pine Games. This game is organized through the Gauntlet gaming community, and the game we're playing tonight is Magical Multiverse Tour Bite Marks Innistrad Howlpack Session 3 of 4. So the Gauntlet is a cool group of people playing cool role-playing games. Lots of indie and story games going on each and every month on the Gauntlet. Check out everything the Gauntlet has to offer at gauntlet-rpg.com or follow the Gauntlet on Twitter at gauntletrpg to learn about opportunities to play games with us and otherwise experience the cool things that the Gauntlet is doing in the gaming scene. The game we're playing is Bite Marks, a game of werewolf pack drama by Becky Ennison of Black Armada Games. This is a game that's all about the interpersonal dynamics of a close-knit pack of werewolves, and we are playing it in the setting of Innistrad. Innistrad is a plane from the multiverse of Magic the Gathering. So we're delving into the lore of the Magic the Gathering card game here. Now, it's all right if you're coming into this as a player or as a listener or viewer who's not already well versed in Magic the Gathering lore. You know, we're wearing our continuity lightly here. We're sprinkling in some things that are fun, but being really open to forging our own canon as we go. This is part of a overall series I'm running called Magical Multiverse Tour, a meta series, I suppose you could say, where I drop into different Magic planes with different systems in order to play around in pieces of the lore that are exciting to me. I've previously run some sessions set on Kaldheim, the Norse mythology plane, but this one is Innistrad. Innistrad is a plane of gothic horror, a world where monsters like vampires, werewolves, zombies, both of the necromantic and the necroalchemical varieties are known to exist and haunt the night and drive the humans to huddle together in their villages or set out on crusades to fight back against the things that go bump in the night. But our main characters are not humans. Our main characters are werewolves, and they walk a delicate line, interacting with humans in their human forms and running in the woods in their wolf forms. And we are seeing how they manage that balance and where the tension flares up among them and between them and the world that surrounds them. Let's meet the players who are playing these werewolves. We'll do first a round of introducing ourselves as players. So go ahead and if you would, tell us your name, your pronouns if you wish, your online handle if you so desire, and anything else you think is important for folks to know. I am Alexi, he, him. My gaming endeavors are all online at Cloven Pine Games, so check out Cloven Pine Games on Twitter and on itch.io. I'm pumped to be running this session. Brandon, go ahead, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I've been with the Gauntlet for a year and a half or so, and I love games of heavy interpersonal activity of almost any strain. And so this is my jam.
Fantastic. Good to have you, Brandon. Next up, Harry, tell us about yourself.
I go by Harry, he, him pronouns. I'm slightly newish to the Gauntlet and coming back from being sick last week, so I'm hoping to actually get to play the game, which is I was really looking forward to. And I don't really have any internet kind of thing going on or anything like that, but I'm just definitely want to get playing.
Absolutely. Great to have you here. Kyle, you're up next.
Kyle, he, they. Been with the Gauntlet for a year or two now.
And it's good to have you, Kyle. Yes, so as Harry mentioned, we were missing Harry last time, so we'll be checking in and finding out what his character was up to. At the moment, we are missing our fourth player, who will hopefully be able to join us a little later on. And at that point, I'll have him introduce himself and his character. But for now, let's meet these three members of the pack. I'd love you to tell us just kind of what are the key things things we should know about the character? Just a little. What's the capsule summary, and then what situation they were last in? When we last saw your character, what was going on, so we can remind ourselves a little bit of where we're at with these werewolves. Serafina, Brandon, why don't you start by telling us about Serafina?
Serafina, she is the alpha of the pack. Not the largest, but she makes up for it with ferocity of demeanor and speed. She is very protective of her fellow wolves. Perhaps some would say overprotective, and draws a hard line on the traditions that honor their wolfen ancestors and the traditions that keep them safe. She exiled her own husband for failing to live up to one of those traditions. And she has a yearning for a better life, both for the pack, because while existence has its good points, it is often difficult. And also for herself, because ever since that exile, which she felt she was obliged to do out of duty, she has felt a gap that the other pack mates, as strong and supportive as they may be, cannot quite fill.
Wonderful. And where did we last see Serafina?
We last saw Serafina with, I believe, investigating the Grimm Keep.
Yeah, I think
to try
asking
to
around, seeing
yes.
if there were any kind of trackers or hunters in the
Yes.
village of Ramsgate that would be useful companions.
Yeah,
for...
because they knew where it was, even though they knew where it was at least enough to shy away from.
That it wasn't going so well for you.
Well, they showed their cowardice. She was unable to persuade any of them to be guide.
And right around then, a knock rang out at the door of the town gate, and a new player, or a new figure had entered the scene, a Inquisitor from the Church of Avacyn, who said he'd heard this town had a monster problem. So perhaps a useful guide there, depending on how you play your cards, I suppose.
Perhaps.
Wonderful. Harry, tell us next about Cawle and about where Cawle was last we saw him.
Cawle is the fixer of the werewolf pack. He tries to, run interference between the human world and the wolf world. So things, if bodies pile up, he makes them go away, stuff like that. Where we last left him was he was trying to figure out a way to get the pack to be welcomed into the town, because they were keeping them out because they had a member of the Avacyn Church who was preaching and something along those lines. And I was trying to arrange that preacher's imminent demise. is where we last left off.
Oh wow, was it? Yeah. I mean, there was a preacher causing problems not only for the werewolf pack but also for the innkeep in town, who was an old friend of yours, and so you were trying to get rid of him. I didn't remember whether you were trying to get rid of him permanently, but that was
what he's going to be what he was going to be aiming to do.
Wow. Okay.
He's going to disappear on his way to a greenfold from Ramsgate.
I am happy to check in and see how that plays out then. Fantastic. Last but not least here, Kyle, will you tell us about your werewolf Alice?
Yes, I'm playing Alice the Howl, the sort of spiritual heart of the pack, who thinks most of the traditions are bad and is trying to dismantle them.
Yeah,
I think we last saw her bringing one of the village herbalist into the secret that were werewolves.
Yeah, you spilled the beans, by like opening up that pack with the like severed wolf arm in it, right? Because you were convincing Lyra, the village herbalist, to help your packmate Rena get her arm back, but in the process, Lyra had to learn that you were all werewolves. So that's a pretty big secret that Alice is hanging on to. Of course, Alice also knows that Cawle has broken the tradition and revealed the pack's werewolf nature to his human beloved Claire. So you have that leverage should you choose to use it. Fantastic. Anything else people want to note before we jump in? Or do we feel like this has covered a lot of ground? Cawle, you will have to find we're basically jumping back in time a tiny bit to see where Cawle was, what Cawle was up to, and Cawle and Harry will learn a little more about what the rest of the pack has been up to when the timeline matches up and we get them on screen together, and we'll do kind of judicious like montaging as needed to get to that. But yeah, I'd love to drop back into where we last saw Cawle, which was outside the Inn of Ramsgate, hearing the street preacher preaching that all the travails of Innistrad, the recent terrors of mad angels and lengthening nights and more dangerous monsters were all punishment for the sins and faithlessness of the people, and there were some who were willing to listen enough that that Barnaby the innkeeper felt like he couldn't open his doors, and also enough that the gates of the town seemed pretty firmly shut. Both from the general fear of the populace and from this moment of religious fervor. So Cawle, you can hear this preaching going on and see the people gather around. I wonder, what do you do?
I think my aim was to go and watch the preacher preach for a little while and try to see if he could find a moment when maybe he like winds down, to see if I could get his attention or engage him in conversation.
He's preaching at full tilt, but there comes a time when even a practiced orator needs to pause for breath. So yeah, you definitely have a moment as he's
good sir.
You there? What is it?
I have grave news. I and my Tinker family are from around this area. We've just come from the old village of Greenfold, and I'm sorry to report, but I think there is a coven operating out of the town.
Witchcraft? Heresy?
Yes. I myself saw with my own
practices.
What?
What evidence did you see of these practices?
I saw a group of 4 or 5 of them out in the woods, and they were taking turns kissing a toad.
This could be the cult of the Gitrog monster at work. Perhaps I am needed elsewhere, but people of Ramsgate, do not forget my words, right? And he's going to like launch into his his thundering conclusion. Let me check. Is there a move that you're triggering here?
I do believe it might be the make it go away.
Yes, when you use your context and resources to smooth over a problem in the human world, roll plus teeth. Sure. You know what? Let's roll that and see if you can make it go away, Cawle.
Okay, so that's a +1 for me. I'm not going to put the modifier in the roll. I'm just going to roll and then add the modifier.
Yeah, that works for me.
It's going to be a 6. It's going to be an actual miss.
Oh dear. We are off to a start here. Wait, are you sure it's a 6?
No, I rolled a 5 and I got +1 for my teeth, so it's a 6.
Are we looking at the same
Why did it say Serafina rolled? Okay, no, sorry. Okay, yeah.
That was because of fault roll of
yeah,
mine.
you moved the number down. Never mind. It was a 10. Okay.
That changes things.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
All right, fair enough. I could work with any result, but I don't want to snatch that victory away from you, because
Yes.
the dice did roll in your favor here. Like natural 10 plus 1, it's an 11. Like that'll do it, right? In fact, what it says here is on a 10 plus you succeed. In fact, the person who helps you out is so disarmed by you that they think they owe you a favor now. So, Cawle, I guess the question is, if you've really gotten through to this preacher, and it looks like he's gonna pack up his things and make haste to the village of Greenfold to investigate this, are you still planning to bump him off, or is it good to have a preacher out there who thinks he owes you a favor?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be angling towards something of a almost like a, I don't know, a deputization is, or I'll keep an eye on the fold here until you get back.
Amazing. Yeah. He says.
I mean, and did preachers that they used to sell things for forgiveness of sins? They would sell little bones or something like that.
Oh, like relic mongering.
Yeah, maybe get a little relic from him that I can use to get away with one sin, or something.
I think people would probably differ on the exact theology of that, but I think you could definitely angle to pick up a relic from him on his way out, right? Just as a real tangible upshot of that, bonus favor, absolutely. So we'll go ahead.
It's a small chicken bone.
He says he says it is a finger bone of Saint Bruno of Gavany, but with your werewolf senses, you can smell that it doesn't smell like it's nearly as old as that kind of alleged pedigree would suggest. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this be a little montage, right, of you kind of waving off the preacher as he presses the reliquary into your hands and says, it's good for there to be a man of faith and vigilance to stay alert in this town. All of these places are in need of the light of Avacyn in these ever darkening days.
Have no fear, I will keep the light going here.
And I'm going to say that you perhaps at this point notice that something was slipped into your pocket when you were amidst the crowd in the town square earlier, and it's a note in delicate handwriting that says, "Meet me at the old chapel."
And then Cawle very quickly, once he sees the preacher off and sees that, he kind of brightens up, and again he's walking tall and he's just whistling to himself as he walks along as he goes straight to the chapel.
Excellent, cool. When you arrive at the chapel, how can you tell that this place has been disused and neglected in recent months?
I think you probably see a little bit of damage to the roof, maybe a hole or two in the thatching or something like that. If there is any paint on any type of walls or anything like that, it'd be a little bit chipped and peeling a little bit.
I love it. Yeah. Some real signs that routine maintenance has been has fallen by the wayside, right? And that perhaps the preacher was right, and people have been forgetting the old faith. So the chapel seems kind of still, right? Dusty, and then kind of from near the front, someone stands up. Cawle, thank goodness. It's Claire, looking lovely as ever, but worried.
He gets almost like a rakish gaze in his eyes as he just completely rushes over to her, takes her in his arms, and what you call it, takes her into the chapel, and is quick to just start kissing her as much as possible.
Wonderful. Yeah, she says, "Oh, Cawle, wait, no, I need to talk to you. Listen to me."
Okay, he stops.
She's, cheeks flushed, right? Straightens her hair. The town is in terrible danger. There are monsters, and not your kind of monsters, worse monsters, hurting livestock, hurting people.
Do you know what kind of monsters?
Ghouls stitched together by necroalchemists.
That's not going to be good for anybody.
She shakes her head. She says, I have a plan, though, and I think you can help.
Tell me. Whatever your wish is, I will make it come true.
She picks up like an old leather-bound tome that was lying on one of these pews, but it doesn't look like a text of the Church of Avacyn. There's kind of a sigil on the front that's not the collar of Avacyn. It's more like a spider, with rendered in kind of like angular embossed bronze. She says, "I've been doing research long before Avacyn. This village worshipped the Great Spinner, and there are ways to cast protection around this town. It would keep out the darkness permanently."
So a work of sorcery? Where did you get a book like this? This is amazing.
I found it at the back of some closet.
I mean, something like this has got to be worth, I don't know, tons on the black market.
It doesn't matter what it's worth. It can save my family and my village.
Yeah, I know that too.
I need to go to a place of power to make the spell work.
Oh, I've got a great idea.
What are you thinking?
I think my pack has a place around here, I think, that we use for ceremonies. It's a graveyard.
Cawle, I think you're going to have to roll to disobey.
Okay.
Because I do think that, you are resisting the
We got a
traditions of the
-1
pack,
carrying
right?
over from yesterday.
You're resisting the traditions of the pack to put forward the Cairn here, but go ahead and roll plus guts.
Alrighty.
You can decide if
This
the -1
is
from before.
1 and -1, so it'll just be a straight roll then.
Yeah, it'll be a flat roll because you got 1 guts, and I think the -1 should carry over.
Got a 9.
A 9. Okay, yeah. 7 to 9. You disobey, but it troubles you greatly. Take -1 from the pack pool. So Cawle, you're gonna get to do this, right? Like you're gonna you can absolutely make this promise, and Claire will be all in on it. But tell me a little bit about how, like, on some level this is this eats away at you, that you're going against tradition by inviting an outsider to use the Cairn of your pack for her spellcraft.
Yeah, I think you'll see some of his the personality that he has around the pack leak through in his interactions with Claire. So every once in a while he'd be like acting sheepish instead of taking control of the situation or something. He's kind of like letting her take the lead a little bit, and he's being led by her. So it's almost like he's falling into the same patterns that he has with the pack.
That's amazing. I think that fits well. Let me go ahead and remove one from the pack pool,
Yeah, I was
which
just
is
gonna
the
ask about that.
the mechanical aspect of that consequence. Yeah, we've got a little track of checkbox tab where we keep track of that, and yeah, so that one's gone. Sure, yeah, yeah, and I think like once you've said this, once you've agreed to this, like Claire like gives a sigh of of like relief and triumph even, and she says, "Oh, good. I was so hoping you would be able to help. Thank you, Cawle." And like
Anything for you.
yeah, she like puts a hand on your face, and she says, "My hero."
Forever and always.
And she'll like grab you by your jacket and like pull you in close for a kiss.
Oh yeah, he's all for that.
All right. Is it possible we're fading to black on this
Fading to black, yeah.
happy couple? Wonderful. I'll just have you read the sex move of your character, which tells us a little about like fictional and or mechanical upshot of intimacy like this.
Okay. Well, if you and another player character have sex, then you owe them a romantic gesture. You just want to do something awesome for them.
Nice. Okay, so it doesn't specifically trigger for an NPC, but you can think about to what extent, if any, Cawle feels that that pull to do something awesome for Claire.
I think clearly that this is the fallout from the previous sex move that happened before.
Absolutely. All right, then I think we might kind of cut away from that with the assumption that that Cawle has spent some of this intervening time with his human paramour. And Serafina, if you would, let's have you roll your start of session move to just see what the state of the pack is as we come to the present of gameplay where all our characters are in the same chronology.
8.
And what does that mean for the state of the pack?
It means that I pick one pack mate who gets +1 to disobey and one who gets -1 to disobey.
Okay, yeah, and so you're picking from among the PCs here.
Yes. Well, I kind of pre-picked this because I didn't want to be affected by what Cawle did without Serafina knowing about it. Unless I should just give you a +1 to disobey because you're doing it anyway.
It's your call. You're the alpha here.
Yeah, I think I was trusting Cawle, so I'll give him the +1. I didn't know any better, and I'll give
maybe he's been like away from you for long enough that he just he just feels buoyed,
feels human.
Hmm.
And I'll give the -1 to Alice.
-1 to disobey the alpha.
She needs checking.
Yeah, and we had some of that like butting heads in the last session, so that makes a lot of sense to me.
I don't know what she's most recently done, but
yeah. Speaking of Alice, I think I want to check in with you. You have helped Rena get her arm back. Now, of course, the humans of the village all saw her missing an arm. So what are you doing to disguise the fact she has an arm again?
I think just put her arm in a sling to like cover up the stump, like put a coat over the sling or something.
Nice. So just a little like a little coverage while you're in the village to make sure no one spots that she has this arm again. And oh, by the way, this arm can't fully transform back from its wolf mode, so there's that tell as well. But she'll probably be responsible about this. Absolutely, yeah. With that business done, you have the run of the town. You could seek out any of your pack mates. You could sniff around to find where Cawle has gotten to, or you could check back in with Serafina. What do you do, Alice?
I checked back in with Serafina, I guess. See
Yeah.
what's going on with like the main group.
That makes sense to me. So let's pick up there. The the villagers are all kind of like gathered around the gate, and the mayor has approached to greet the newcomer. Serafina, are you watching from a distance? What's your
Oh no,
perspective on this?
not a distance.
Not a distance. You're up.
No, I'm watching right up there. I'm right up there with them. I want a good look at this.
Nice.
At
So yeah.
this,
So
at
when
this
you
priest.
uh,
So yeah, it wouldn't take any difficulty for Alice to get directed to where half the village is.
Cool. Yeah. So Alice, what you spot is this whole crowd gathered around this newcomer who's wearing kind of like um, like leather armor, but there's bits of it that are gleaming white. It's way fancier than anything the people in the village usually wear, right? It's a tabard with the symbols of the church on it, and he's got like several crossbows over his back and multiple swords at his side. And when he smiles, there's the glint of silver from the silver caps on his teeth. And he's saying, never fear, citizens of Ramsgate. All your monster troubles will be over. Your prayers have been heard, and the church has sent me, Inquisitor Ferric.
I applaud.
Serafina leading the applause.
Thank goodness there is someone here who has the courage to go up and confront these horrible things at the Grimm Keep. Not everyone here, she says, looking around, has the force of their convictions in helping to keep this place safe.
Are you trying to dominate the villagers of Ramsgate?
I'll dominate anybody who will listen. Yes.
So tell me what you're trying to get them to do. Like, it sounds like you're shaming them, but what do you want them to do in response to that?
I want them to. I want some of them to find their courage, at least insofar as guiding to the Grimm Keep. I don't think and I'm also buttering up this priest or whatever he is.
Yeah, so I'll tell you that from what he's wearing, it doesn't look like he's a priest. He is a warrior, right? A holy warrior.
A holy warrior, fine.
Who's been sent
yes.
from the from whatever remains of the Church of Avacyn. Of course, the Cathedral of Avacyn, fell when the angel went mad and other disasters struck. But they've got enough shiny holy weapons for this man to be equipped at least. Go ahead and roll with teeth to see if you're able to drum some courage into these people.
All right, let's see how this works. That's a 10.
Haha. Okay. You take full control of the situation. NPCs will do as they are told, even if it becomes dangerous or they have been away from you for a long period of time.
Right. Okay. Well, good. Huntsmen to guide and other people to get out their spears and get ready to help this the savior of our village.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come here and rout out this evil, which I will be happy to let him take point.
Fantastic. Yeah. So the villagers kind of like mutter as you start, but then as you kind of keep pressing the point home.
And I smile, and also I smile at them.
Yeah.
I have a very pretty smile, and it doesn't have too many teeth in it at all.
So some of them step forward and say, now see here, we are ready to push back against the darkness. We just need someone to guide us. And
of course, absolutely. I can whack him on the back and say, I am that your courage gives us all hope that this horrible situation may soon be resolved.
The Inquisitor says, now that is the spirit. I I like to hear such courage. Who do I have the honor of meeting?
My name is Serafina of the Wandering People.
Oh, you're not the leader of this village.
No, not at all. But we are friends of this village and have been here many times, trading. And
The mayor kind of pokes his head around. It's like, yes, indeed, they are good friends to Ramsgate. They destroyed one of these monsters that was harrying our crops and our livestock and our people.
yes, an awful thing, an undead thing stitched together from bits of corpses. Frightening and incredibly strong.
It sounds unnatural and exhilarating, says Ferric. Alice, you've arrived in time to take all this in. I'm curious, what do you do?
I don't want to attract the anyone's attention right now. I think I just sort of hang out in the background.
Nice. Are you angling for any information? Is this something where you might be harnessing the wolf to take things in here, or are you just primarily trying to avoid the problem of too much attention?
Mostly just trying to avoid attention.
I'm gonna ask you if you don't mind to act on instinct here, just because there is the possible threat of someone getting too interested in who these KD outsiders are. So if you don't mind rolling with Feral to just see if your stealthiness holds true here.
11.
You do it. Describe how you succeed. Give it a little flourish and take +1 pack pool. So Alice, you are stealthy in a way that is impressive. Plausibly, this can even be that some other member of your pack notices you and is impressed by how you're adroitly avoiding unwanted human attention.
Probably just keeping track of where people's attention are, and just always managing to have someone else between me and the bulk of the crowd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Serafina,
wherever people aren't looking, somehow Alice is there.
yes, Serafina probably catches your eye sidelong and gives you a tiny wink.
Cawle,
because of course that's one of the reasons that she is speaking out so much, is to concentrate the attention of this visitor.
Cawle, this is the big commotion in town today. I'm curious, when do you from where do you emerge, and how do you kind of approach approach what's happening?
Yeah, I think Cawle will come in close to the end, and kind of just sit on one of the barrels that's out by the inn, and trying to catch Serafina's attention, but it doesn't want to interrupt her when she's having her big moment.
I had since when I've put the backbone into them, I'm happy to step back and let the holy warrior take charge.
Nice.
Well,
so he's kind of gathering information from the villagers and starts laying out a plan. We leave at first light. We'll bring supplies to camp if need be, and supplies to lay siege if necessary. Right. So yeah, Serafina, you've stepped away and approached your the packmate you haven't seen recently.
There you are.
Yes. I took care of the preacher, but I didn't know about that guy.
He just showed up. Just showed up.
Yeah. Well,
but the word, I guess, spiritual word gets around or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I told the preacher that there is trouble in the other village, but I don't want him coming back. So I'm going to be probably, taking care of him, because he's only got about a half a day head start. I'm gonna run after him and make sure that he's a permanent.
Probably not a good idea right now. This we have to deal with this problem at the Grimm Keep as much as these people do. Although,
Okay.
we may use them as stalking horses here, but that Necro-Alchemist is a threat to our territory
Okay.
too, and so for maybe treasure this moment. This may be the last time that we and anybody in the Church of Avicen are on the same side, even briefly.
Yeah, that's odd. I mean, it's very odd.
Oh, it's more than it's circumstances, but this fellow, this holy warrior doesn't seem like the brightest knife in the drawer.
He's got a lot of weapons.
He certainly does. I fear his weapons more than I fear him, actually.
And is that silver in his mouth?
He's got so much silver on him; it's a little difficult to look at him sometimes. I think he has it in his underclothes.
Okay, so we're definitely gonna have to take care of him.
Yes, but not until he's put a dent in who's ever picking up the Grimm Keep. Let's have them kill each other.
Okay. Just whistle the way when you want me to make sure that he disappears.
Well, I expect it may take more than one of us if he unless he gets badly hurt in the coming battle. But let's not count that. Let's not try to make that decision before we have to.
Yeah, and Cawle just reverts back to his normal personality.
Okay,
he's looking down a lot at his feet and is just kind of listening to your every word and
we
showing
got
deference.
So our friend Lyra Stillwater here, yes?
The herbalist.
Yeah, of course. She was it her? Forgive me, Alexi. I don't know if I heard this or if I just overheard this as a player. Who was the one who got warned off about the mayor's daughter and Cawle?
Lyra told Brooke to tell Cawle to stay away from the mayor's daughter. So that was a scene.
Okay, so Brooke, So Brooke not being here, I don't know this yet. So never mind.
You can if you're curious about what Cawle's been up to, you can always try to provoke Spill.
Absolutely. I haven't done that yet. So you missed a lot. What have you been up to? How have you been? Are you all right? You're not sick?
Oh no. The preacher man, he talked to me long and for quite a while, and he gave me this present. He says it's a relic, but it's just a chicken bone. I don't understand these people.
I think what it probably is it's hope. When people don't have a lot, they sometimes make an awful lot of what they do have, not necessarily to their best interest.
I guess I kind of wish I could bring more hope to some people besides just us. I mean,
what do you mean? You bring hope? What do you mean besides us? We're not enough for you?
Is this provoke
This is
Spill?
provoking Spill. It totally is.
Yeah. Let's have Serafina roll plus heart, and we'll see if Cawle has to reveal something here.
That's an 8.
Ooh.
So they will spill, and then I will choose one.
There's I think to be honest, it feels like you have to make the choice before they spill, just because.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Sure.
Yeah, no. I'm looking at it closely because the second option is they can opt to omit an aspect of the truth in their spill response, but you don't get the pact pool element of the spill move, right? So there's kind of before we find out exactly how much is spilt, we should have you pick your choice from the 7 to 9 list.
That makes sense. Serafina doesn't have a problem responding candidly. So no, she'd rather find she'd rather know what's going on.
All right.
So
So it's going to be a spill and a spill here.
okay, so that means I get to choose either desire for a pack mate, why I'm hurting, what I'm angry about, or what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, you have,
Okay,
you have to
all right.
openly and truthfully
Okay.
express one of those.
I don't know. I'm just afraid. I'm afraid of losing access to these people. I mean, the pack is great. I love the pack. I do everything the pack needs and wants, but these humans are just there's just so many of them, and I just love what they do for me. I just feel much better when I'm actually out and doing something for the community.
I understand that they're interesting, sure, um, but be careful about keeping your priorities straight. I mean, there are a lot of them. There will always be a lot of them, the way they breed. So I don't think you need to have too much worry for them, generally speaking. Is it more than that?
I don't know. I mean, there's the preacher, now this Inquisitor. It's just it seems like somebody's targeting this town, and I just don't want to see anybody get hurt. That doesn't need to be hurt.
No, that's a good distinction. The question is who needs to be hurt.
Serafina.
And I think the Necro Alchemist got here before the Holy Warrior did, so maybe a little credit where that's due.
So I'll keep focused on the very bad guys then.
Yeah, well, and remember, Serafina says this in all innocence. Remember who your family is.
I will never forget.
It's I'm glad you have I'm glad you find some camaraderie in the human villages. I mean, it's not just that it's been really useful, but I understand wanting someone other than family. It's I still dream of him.
I miss him too.
I didn't have a choice, but I still regret it all the time. I mean, he broke a tradition. He had to go.
I mean, but
I
isn't
wish
there room for change?
there is room for change, but change has to happen at its own pace. It can't just happen because people disregard what makes us a pack. Packs traditions do change, but they take time, and they take, I don't know. It is something that when it's time to change, everybody knows it. I think.
Well, if there's anything I can ever do.
In the meantime, these are keep the traditions, honor them, and if you ever have a problem with any of them, speak up. Don't. Georgi knew that when he didn't kill Albrecht, he knew not to expect forgiveness.
Yeah.
He had to pay. He had to pay a penalty for what he did, and but God, I wish it had not happened. I wish it hadn't been him There was somebody else who had the duty of killing Albrecht. Albrecht should have laid down and died, damn it. It was his duty to do so. He agreed, and then he changed his mind and decided he wanted to live in Iran. You remember. You were young, but you remember.
Yes, I remember. It was cowardly, but not everybody
So-
has a backbone to stand up.
Georgi had to go after him. That's why I sent him away. You know, in part was to try to fix the situation. Not that I ever expect to see him again. But I said to him, you have to go. You have to go because you broke a tradition. You have to go because this way maybe there's a chance you can make it right.
Maybe a time's coming for a change. I hope so. There might be something down the road. I mean, it can't be forever.
Even if he found Albrecht and killed him, which I hope he did for his own sake, I doubt I'll ever see him again. But at least maybe that way he'll have found peace. I wish I could have some.
I think peace might be coming our way. I'm hoping for it, at least.
So I think that's a good close.
Yeah, definitely. We got mutual spills there. I think that gives us 2 more in the pack pool, if I'm reading it right. Because when you spill, you add 1+1 to the pack pool and to the pack pool and give your packmate +1 tie on you. So each of you get a tie on the other one. And my only other question is, do you think that was a moment of heartfelt camaraderie?
Yes, I do.
Cawle, was it on your end?
No, he's lying. he's just looking for weak points at this point.
Oh man. Okay. So Serafina, you can mark one of your paths. Plausibly either, because I know you're in human form, but you were talking about some of the traditions of the werewolf pack, so I'm open to either.
I mean, Cawle was truthful about the hoping for changes to the tradition, but everything else was just trying to get in good with the alpha, at least for the moment.
So possibly you get XP for playing to your clever heartbeat here, if what you're doing is telling the truth but in a misleading way. I'm open to you marking your experience for that if you want to. Alice, let me just check in with you. You've stayed away from the human's attention. A plan is coming together. It seems. You spot where Serafina and Cawle have come together. I think Amsel also materializes near you. Once again, they're kicking at the ground, just looking disaffected. The youngest member of this pack and feeling underappreciated. And they'll say something like, "Alice, I don't feel like we told Serafina everything we should about going out and finding the ghoul. Do you think maybe we should just talk to her, and it can't be too bad, right?"
I think she knows everything already. And that was nice of you to try to cover for me, but that was unnecessary. But thank you.
Nobody takes me seriously. She didn't even punish me when I said I'd done the thing. And gone off, and that was really you.
It was my call. But I mean, would you truly feel better if Serafina were angry at you? And I guess I'm trying to provoke the spill here.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll plus heart. Let's provoke some more spell.
Nine.
So choose from that list, right? Either they're going to make you spill in return, or they can opt to omit an aspect of the truth, and you don't get the pack pool.
I'll spill in return.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So yeah, Amsel's gonna totally spill. And Amsel says, I don't know if I'd feel better if Serafina were angry, but I'd feel better if Serafina paid attention to me. I think she's just normie, so she doesn't have to think about stupid Georgie and all of that. But I'm part of this pack now too, and he's not. And she should pay more attention to me and spend less time obsessing over ancient history.
Well, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
But some wounds take a while to heal, and she does have a lot on her plate as the pack leader. I mean, nights are getting longer, and that's a mixed blessing at best for us. We're probably looking at the end of the pack pretty soon. If we continue to let ourselves be hobbled by our traditions, we're doomed.
The end of the pack, but no, we can't. That can't happen. We have to guard the territory. We have to protect the cairn.
It's hard to do that when you're dead.
Could come back as ghosts.
Ghosts aren't all powerful either.
Are you being serious, Alice? You think we have to turn away from the traditions to survive?
I think we may, yes.
Serafina will never let that happen.
Probably not, no.
Like, Amsel's eyes go like huge. Are you going to challenge her?
No, I wouldn't win that fight.
Then we're doomed, Alice. You said it yourself.
That's a distinct possibility, yes.
I think at that point, Amsel like crosses their arms.
Too much spill.
Yeah, just like stomps away. This is this is a lot to take. But you both you get it. You don't get a tie because NPCs don't have ties. But we do add to the pack pool, bringing it all the way up to 8, if I'm not mistaken. Nice. So at that point, some of your more powerful pack moves are on the table. So make sure you check out what those are in the pack tab and familiarize yourself with them. Let's go ahead and take a break here. We'll take a 10-minute break. I'll drop something in the chat so that if Stephen turns up during the break, he knows what's up. And we'll be back at 15 past the hour to pick up once more. Hey, how we doing?
Yeah. Sticking back to the motivations for Cawle and what you call it, because I
The
haven't done
heartbeats.
this part yet for the spill and stuff. It's like, so he wasn't like like lying to Serafina. He was just angling with what he's saying to try and get her to start thinking about change and stuff like that. I mean, so it wasn't a lie per se. It was still truthful. I think. I mean.
Yeah. No, I buy that. Are you thinking this hits the clever heartbeat then?
I already took the clever one, but I'm thinking more along the lines of the torn, because I mean he's trying to
pulled between two
crowbar
worlds.
some space, but he's having to do it in a roundabout way.
Sounds
Would
good to
that
me.
be a human path or wolf path?
It feels like it's human path. Alice, any XP that should be marked from that last scene, including the conversation with Amsel?
I don't think so.
Interesting. I wondered if calculating might be one of them, as you are like weighing the odds of what it would take to change the leadership of the pack.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
You had a chance to be inspiring.
And she may yet go for it.
No. I mean, I just meant with Ansel. It's like crushed him like a bug.
Poor Amsel. Yeah, Serafina, anything we didn't already log as far as heartbeats? Yearning was
I hate
definitely in there, wasn't
yearning
it?
hard. Yes, boy, did I.
You yearned, absolutely. And I saw Stephen emailed saying he's back, but feeling tired out, and so that is totally fine. We will say that Brooke is off screen during these events and work Brooke back in our next session. However, makes sense given wherever the plot has gotten to. But Brooke, one of Brooke's heartbeats is ending, so Brooke, our gray pelt, has been like thinking about their own mortality and fragility. So it's quite plausible that that's part of what has kept Brooke off screen here, right? And we'll see where they're at when we pick up our next session. Are folks up to drop back into play here?
Yes.
I'd love to maybe frame up a scene of the pack all together. The pack we have and the NPCs.
Well, we are gathering to accompany the human foray.
Yeah, I guess I'd love to see, is there like a
so presumably we could be gathering the evening before around around a fire.
I'm totally open. I'm pretty open to that. Yeah, it's like
I'm presuming that when we're welcome in the town, like now, that they let us pitch a tent inside.
Oh, that's so funny. You're inside the town, but you're still in a tent that they've just let you pitch within the walls of Ramsgate.
Yeah, I mean we're within the walls, but it doesn't stop us from visiting individuals. But presumably, hospitality has its limits, and I'm sure there are some people in the town who think of us as thieves, notwithstanding that we've probably never stolen anything. Because we're itinerant.
Speak for yourself, Serafina. I think some of the pack have stolen things.
Probably.
I like this idea. Are people up for it? It's like a scene around the fire in the tent as the pack contemplates, the fact that the humans are planning to make an essay on the morn to this Grimm Keep in the mountains. Are we up for that scene? Alice, tell me a little about kind of what what the pack is doing altogether here, right? Like, is this something where you're sharing a meal, or just sharing a drink, or what is the like communal thing that that is happening around this campfire?
Well, we're in town, so we probably have to keep things a little covert. So probably just sharing a drink.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, even as humans, you're still a pack. You just have to be mindful of of prying ears. So, yeah. Uh, tell me about this. Like, mulled wine, some kind of harder liquor that someone's managed to distill in Innistrad, or what sort of a drink is it?
Uh, Probably some kind of like hard cider that we managed to make up, like with apples we harvested along the way, that sort of thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, apples and things you pulled off of the trees as your wagon went by, or things you foraged from the woods in wolf form and brought back to work on in human form. Absolutely. I like it. Cawle. How can you tell there are unspoken tensions amongst the other members of this pack that you don't fully understand, having missed the adventures of the the day before?
I think that it's an uncommon silence as we're drinking here. Cawle's also going to be working on some shoes that some villagers had brought by for repair. I think Alice is going to be like, if it's okay, staring at Serafina rather archly or rather upfrontly. I mean,
Kyle, does that sound plausible to you?
You're not keeping your gaze down in front of the alpha and stuff.
It's not
Sounds
required. But sure.
Amsel's kind of fidgeting, and will occasionally mutter, not totally under their breath. It's not like Brooke to hold back like this. I don't understand what's going on. So Amsel clearly worried about Brooke, who is not in the group around the fire.
What's the matter, youngster?
Big cry pardon, Alpha. Nothing's the matter.
Come on.
Are you going to provoke Amsel to spill again?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying this with a smile. It's just like, out with it.
I'm just worried.
It won't be better for swallowing it. Things like that give you indigestion.
I'm just worried about Brooke. That's all. They've been talking weird about things ending, and everybody keeps talking weird about things ending, and I don't want things to end.
Everybody's been talking about them?
Amsel kind of gulps and looks not furtively enough over towards Alice.
I'm not going to ask whether you've been filling this young one's mind with nonsense, because I don't see any reason to ask questions I already know the answers to. But is there anything particular that you want to say before everyone here?
No, not really.
Rena, how's your pain?
So here's a question, Alice. What did you tell Rena about who in the pack should know and when about the fact she has her arm back?
I didn't really give her much guidance on that, so yeah.
Great. So Rena's like, Serafina, it's you wouldn't believe it. It's back, and she like pulls aside the like cloak she was wearing to reveal her like restored arm. But as she holds it out, it like grows hairier, and the claws come out a little. She's like, I'm working on it, but it's back.
That's amazing.
It's a miracle.
And Ren's like, oh, Cawle, you weren't there. This ghoul cut my arm off with a cleaver.
That's horrible. Did it hurt much?
Oh yeah,
I'm stoned.
excruciating.
Rena, you must have an ancestral tie we don't know about. I've never heard of a wolf regenerating an arm.
Is that a bad omen?
No, it's terrific. It's a blessing. I mean, this is a good, healthy arm, and you're going to have to keep it covered up. Oh my lord! If the villagers saw this,
Right? Yeah, absolutely, boss. But it's really good. Alice had this vision of a three-legged wolf who became the last of a pack that dwindled and died, and I didn't want that to be me, but now I'm not a three-legged wolf, so it isn't me.
No.
I'm gonna go up to Rena real quick.
Maybe it was a prayer of sorts. Sometimes dreams are, whether they're good or bad,
Yeah, Cawle, what are you doing?
I'm just real quietly. I'm just gonna hand the chicken bone over to her and say, if somebody finds you with your arm out and starts screaming or anything, this is a relic.
It's not going to. That's not going to help. Cawle.
The relic of Saint Bruno of Gavini. Yeah, trust me. Just tell them that ever since you got it, you got your arm back. They'll believe.
Yeah, no. It's he's got claws. She's got claws.
I can hold him in if I concentrate. Thanks, Cawle. You're a pal. And she slaps you on the back, like hard enough to stagger you a little bit.
Oh, anytime, Rena. Anytime.
Chicken bone's not going to stop anyone from shrieking abomination.
It's not a chicken bone. It's a relic of Saint Bruno of Gavini.
You know that Saint Bruno of Gavini is an Avicen saint, right? Just
and
so
Rena
know.
Sniffs it.
It's not an ancestor, and it's not real.
But they'll think it's real.
Maybe it'll buy you 2 seconds to get away.
I'm fast. I don't need more than that.
Keep it covered up tight.
Sure. Until
tight, and remember they saw you
smash things.
Yes, but not in sight of any of them.
Rena thinks about
that. It won't. Some of them are none too bright, but even they'll figure it out. If you didn't have an arm before and you have one now,
I guess that makes sense. We'll
I tell you, especially with that Avicenian around, it'll take him about 15 seconds of smelling anything that's funny to want to use the test of silver on
you. She kind of, even in human form, does like a growl of discontent at that. Oh, was that somebody's computer making that noise?
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries. Just making sure I'm not having weird stuff happen on my end. So Rena will look at you. One more thing. Rena will look at you, Cawle, and say, "You're good at hurting the grass eaters. You'll help keep people looking somewhere else when it comes time for me to do my thing, right?"
Yeah, no problem. All eyes will be on me.
So
she nods.
So our holy warrior is going after the Grimm Keep, and I think we should let them get their attention as much as possible and have us sniff around ourselves. But with any luck, he can. They can occupy him, and we can split their forces if nothing else, or let them fight it out and see who's left. It's hard to know exactly what to expect. Does anybody have anything to offer? Not like we've had a lot of dealings with necroalchemists, but anybody feel free to pitch in.
Yeah, I think the idea of them beating the crap out of each other is much better than our direct involvement. But we have to be ready to pounce when the moment's right.
Yes, and unless that Abyssinian is dead, nobody transforms anywhere the humans can see. Because if he's still alive, there will be more trouble than we want.
Serafina, is that an order that rises to the level of the dominate role? Because you're telling your werewolf pack, not to go into their wolf form.
Well, it's following a tradition, but yeah, I'll make a dominate if you want. We try not to transform where humans are unless they're prey. And as I said,
sorry, I was getting a little. Sorry, can people hear me? Sorry about that. Yeah, go ahead, Serafina.
Yes, I mean, yeah, we don't transform around humans unless they're prey, after all.
Yeah, people just might need a reminder of that before going into this, situation
Happy
of
to
battle
remind.
alongside humans.
That's a 12.
Okay. You take full control of the situation. NPCs will do as they are told, even if it becomes dangerous or they've been away from you for a long time. PCs cannot disobey your current order, but forcing them to do it comes at a cost. They will take a +1 tie on you because some decisions come back to bite. The alpha's word is binding here, right? Alpha says no transforming in front of these humans, and that is not something that can be disobeyed. However, you take a tie on Serafina for being kind of being pushed in this way. Does that make sense to everybody?
What do ties do?
Ties are things you can spend. You can spend a tie on a roll targeting the player character that you have that tie with.
Gotcha.
And if the ties fill up past 3, they reset to 1, and you mark XP. But yeah, you can have up to 3 ties on someone, and that represents like a possible like +3 you can spend on a roll that is targeting them. So the more ties you have, the more you might be able to spill or make a challenge. For example.
So yeah. The Abyssinian's the only one I'm concerned about. If you're willing to kill whoever sees you transform, that's a different matter. Use your judgment, but be prepared. Word gets back to the town that we're not who we say we are, and it won't be just this town we'll have trouble with.
Do you want me to lay some groundwork here in the village for after
We
the
don't
trip
know.
up to the Grimm Keep?
What would you do?
I was thinking more along the lines of letting the right people know that that there might be trouble coming back the next day.
Hopefully there won't be.
Yeah,
We can deal with the Grimm Keep. They'll have all the more reason to love us.
yeah. But what if things go wrong?
If things go wrong, then coming back to the town to warn them that the necromancer is not dealt with, I think would be appropriate. But let's not assume that we're going to lose. I think preparing people for the possibility that that their folk might be slaughtered going up against the necromancers will just make them panic.
Hmm.
You know them better than I do, but
I was thinking more along the lines of, if we have to, I know the right kind of people to, how shall we say, roll the Inquisitor with the right.
if the Inquisitor comes wise to us, we have to kill him as quickly as possible. And if we cannot do that, then we're going to need to make some very difficult decisions.
Yeah, because I know some folk who have no love for the Inquisition's work, and I could make sure there's like one or two ready in case he comes back. If he's victorious and comes back to the village, decides to take up and spend more time here, and
then undermining him would be appropriate. But let's not telegraph that.
it wouldn't be telegraphed. It's a human thing. They do things for shiny objects, and they love their money.
Fortunately, shiny objects don't have as much appeal for us.
Nope, and it's so much easier to the humans are greedy folk, and the right ones at the right time are just as deadly as we are. With the right motivation.
It's something to think about. But I'd rather he go away than we try to have him killed and it not work.
Okay, so a backup plan.
Yes. With Abyssinians,
Alice, what do you?
they're
Oh, yeah.
they're scared. They're not very predictable. So anyway, interesting thought. Thanks. Oh, sorry.
Alice, what do you think about the plan of sending the humans in first and then attempting to deal with the Grimm Keep and while somehow not giving yourselves away in the process?
It sounds good.
Okay, so you're on board. Do you say or do anything to convey that to Serafina, or are you still like keeping your own counsel here?
I'll keep my own counsel.
Fair enough. You are the most spiritually attuned of the pack, yeah?
Yes.
Tell me how do you sense that the ancestral burial ground of your wolf pack is being disturbed?
I probably feel the hairs standing up on my neck. That sort of thing.
Nice. Yeah. This extreme goosebumps, right? Absolutely. Hairs standing on end. You get that feeling very strongly. Almost a chill despite the heat of the fire and the cider. What do you do?
I tell the group, like, I think someone's messing with our burial grounds.
we have to go. No. As
Is the Inquisitor still in sight?
At the moment, the pack are all in a tent gathered around a fire, or possibly the fire is outside the tent, right? But you've got a slightly more private spot within the town.
So Cawle's gonna immediately leave the tent and say, "I'll check to see if he's in the area really quickly," and he runs off to try and find the Inquisitor in the village.
All right. I'll need at least 4.
Brenna and Amsel are up and ready. Alice, are you joining this?
Yes.
You'd better. You're our warning system. Ancestors bless your connection. I don't know what we do without it. And that's who's a good boy.
Oh, who's a good boy? Tell me about that move.
So that's what I would ask her to make a move, which I will at some point. It's praise gives a +1. Okay. Does Cawle come back soon?
No, he does not.
All right. Well, then I'll go with who I have.
All right, setting off, like out through the main gate of the town.
Yes. Done up like a hunting party.
Cool. I think you don't get too many questions, but the guard posted at the gate takes note of the outsiders stepping out into the darkness.
Well, we you all may grow our own food, but we still need to trap to eat. So we'll be back soon.
Fantastic. We will check back with you in one moment. Cawle, where is it that you've gone?
Okay, so he is kind of going to try and find the Inquisitor, but he's doing it very fast, and he's definitely calling upon the wolf inside of him to increase his speed, and he's basically going to try and do a running buzz by the what's called Inquisitor. And I'm trying to time it so that he just sees me just hauling ass out into the woods.
Oh, fascinating. What are you hoping to accomplish here?
To get the Inquisitor to chase after.
Oh man. In the hopes that you'll just be able to jump him and kill him in the darkness? No,
to guide him to the the cairn, so that I get him to the cairn just as the pack is coming to the cairn.
Yeah, unless he can run as fast as a wolf, he's not going to get there before the rest of us get there.
Yeah.
Or have some equivalent transport. Who knows?
Basically, I'm going to try and get to the cairn before everybody else.
Okay.
And get Claire out of the way before the crap hits the fan.
Fascinating.
Somebody's already there.
I think
that's what I think is happening.
Yeah. I think Inquisitor Ferret probably has a horse, right? A dashing white charger. So that might even the scale. I do think I'm going to ask Cawle to make a roll to act on instinct using your superhuman abilities here, since you're doing this speedy buzz, right, to rouse the Inquisitor's attention without him recognizing you. So I want to see whether that goes as you hope to or not.
All right, that's feral, so that's just gonna be a straight roll. Nope.
What did you get there?
4 hard move.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so you absolutely get the attention of Inquisitor Ferric, right? And like, he says, what was that, right? And like, before like anyone who was sitting with him at his, he was at the inn like laying out like strategy for the following day, and he stands up, like knocks over the table, sends the the map of the region flying, and he's out the door, like grabbing his horse, like swinging onto it, as you're also darting. Are you going through your secret side passage out of the village here, since it sounds like the others were exiting by the main gate?
Yeah, whichever is the quickest way.
Yeah.
Is he just being really furtive? I mean, what is the Inquisitor so?
Because he sees someone moving at superhuman speed.
Oh,
right. And that's usually not a good sign. That's that's a real like red flag of a vampire or a werewolf or a demon. Yeah. So
did he transform in the village?
No, you're just pulling on your pulling on your wolfish abilities while remaining in human form.
Yeah, not going full wolf.
Yeah, I like it. So you are like bolting through the woods, and you hear the pounding of hooves behind you, and then you feel a chain wrap around your leg, and it starts to burn, because he has lashed out with a silver chain that has caught you, and you stumble and hit the ground. Go ahead and take take a harm just to just to start off here, and in fact make the harm move for me, which is down at the very bottom of the basic move sheet.
Okay, so the basic move sheet, harm.
It's guts.
Guts. All right, so
yeah, when a PC suffers harm, and you roll plus guts.
Okay, so it's +1. So I rolled a 10, so that'll be an 11.
Wait, you rolled an 11 on guts there?
A 10, and then it became an 11.
Okay, so you can choose, either the harm move, it totally cancels out, right? And the situation is as before, silver chain around your leg, taking 1 harm, or you can take -1 harm, going down to 0 harm, and the MC chooses one thing from the 7 to 9 consequences list.
For this one, I think I'm just gonna say that I managed to slip out of the lasso of the silver whip or whatever it is that he's using, because yeah, I still want him following me.
Nice. Nice. I buy that. So you're kind of leveraging that hit on the harm, not to negate the harm you took, but just to like
Get away.
Avoid other consequences.
Yeah. Yank your foot out. Avoid the consequences. I buy this. I buy this as a take. You are definitely in. You definitely don't feel as in control of the situation, though, right? As you are now, like favoring one leg. Feeling the smart of blessed silver wrapping around one of your legs, and you hear like calling after you. Stay there, miscreant. What is your business?
You will never find our evil plan. He's like running away.
Just hamming it up.
Yes.
All right.
Getting him on my trail.
Oh, beautiful. Let's check in on our other wolves then. Serafina, Alice, and you're accompanied by Amsel and Rena. You arrive in the sacred sacred grounds right at the center of your territory. Alice, tell me a little about the cairn that stands here. Kind of in what ways has it been marked as a site of kind of solemnity and sacredness for your pack?
Probably some carvings or something on the all like standing stones.
Yeah, I like it. Carvings, are the carvings like depicting wolves in some way, or is it more abstract? Like, how much is this like kind of obviously a werewolf place to a casual observer?
Some wolves, some abstract. I don't know. A casual observer could probably guess.
Very good, very good. Serafina, what's something you left here to particularly commemorate Lilith, your lost pup?
I think it's this is a cairn. So I mean, other than the fact that it has her bones, or maybe a bone, the one of the smaller stones of the cairn has a crude but recognizable face that has been gnawed into it.
So something you created in wolf form, perhaps?
I created it in wolf form over the course of many nights. Wearing my teeth down, and they're growing back over the course of 6 months or so.
Yeah.
There's only so much. You can only chew stones so much before it starts to harm your teeth. So I had to do it over a very long period of time. But that way, it's both permanent and it's something it's a stone I've held in my mouth for a long period of time, and it's a very personal thing, I think, for werewolves.
Yeah.
I think they mouth, you mouth the people that you hold dear. And so I felt like I held her in my mouth briefly again.
Yeah. The scene here as you arrive is illuminated by the bright light of the harvest moon. There are dented and broken shovels lying discarded, and there is a crude hole gouged into the ground near the base of the cairn. Heaps of dirt nearby. No immediate sign of the grave robbers, but it is clear that there's been an incursion.
Howl of fury. Just sit back and shriek for a moment.
Still in your human form, though.
Yes, it's I mean, it's as much of a howl as a human throat can produce.
Cawle, you come stumbling into the clearing as Serafina lets out this howl. Oh, you're muted.
Out of breath. Danger's coming quickly.
What do you mean? What type of danger? Says Rena.
The inquisitive kind.
Now? This is too soon.
Yes. When I went to speak to him, I brushed up against him, and my skin singed a bit on one of his silver accoutrements.
And the hoofbeats beat louder.
But I think he's by himself.
And the voice of Inquisitor Ferric rings out.
I say quietly to everyone, ambush.
And he's saying, "Whatever dark things ye be here, know that I do not fear your wickedness, for the light of Avacyn guides me." Ambush. What is that supposed to look like, Serafina?
It's just one of our tactics. It's a spread out and encircle, and wait for whoever is moved to make the first move, and then everybody goes.
So
and I'm going to whisper. I'm going to sidle up to Brenna very quietly, hiding, and say to her, when the trap springs, bring a tree down on that horse, or kill it, or just rip its lungs out.
So she says,
but wear the sword.
Now he's prey.
No, he's prey. We have no choice. This is our realm, and it's been invaded.
She licks her chops. Let me just check with you about one thing. There is a pack move called Defend Territory, and I wonder if that's something that the pack is using now.
I'd like to use it.
Cawle, Alice, are you on board with that? So let me read this. Pay 8 pack pool, so that'd be what you've built up here. This place is yours, your sanctuary, your stronghold, your home. When the pack defends its home territory, each packmate can improve their next roll on one of Dominate, Maul, or Give in to the Wolf by 1 category, i.e. turn a miss into a weak hit or a weak hit into a strong hit during the scene. So spending this pack pool basically boosts all of your next rolls for these particular moves, for dominating, for mauling, or for giving in to the wolf. Shall we spend that pack pool and remember that that boost to those moves? Go for it.
Anyone disagree? Here it goes.
This is your territory, and you are defending it.
Not just against the Inquisitor.
Absolutely.
I'm not forgetting what brought us here in the first place.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. There's obviously more. There's more business here, but there's an immediate problem of this man on the white horse coming, galloping into the clearing, looking around, staring at the wolf carvings, and reaching for his reach. He's sorry, I did the motion too soon. He's reaching for his sword. So
now,
Serafina says now. Who's the first to leap on him? Cawle, do you want to volunteer after bringing him here, or are you holding back?
Oh no, I'm getting back behind the pack and and watching very carefully what happens. I'm actually kind of looking around at the cairn to see if I can find out what was disturbed.
Nice.
There's a guy with a horse swinging a silver sword around that spot, so maybe this is not a good time for investigations.
Well, we'll check in and see how this goes for Cawle. Alice, are you going to take the first blow here then?
Sure, yeah.
Here's my question: Are you giving in to the wolf prior to the attack, or is this something where you're just ready to maul?
Yeah, I think I'll give in first.
Okay. All right. So with that boost from defend territory, we know that you'll be bumped up a degree here. So there's no possibility of a full miss, and a partial hit becomes a full hit. Go ahead and roll plus feral as you give yourself to the wolf.
I got a miss, so it turned it into a partial.
Okay. All right. We had that pack pool helping us out here. So on a 7 to 9, you choose one from the Given to the Wolf list, one of these benefits of changing.
I'm going to reduce my hearts by 2 and raise my teeth by 2.
Nice. So tell me, give me just paint me the picture here, which might be the kind of like traumatic image the Inquisitor sees of transformed Alice, right?
I turn into a wolf and sort of start glowing with eldritch power or something like that.
I mean, you're here at the place of power of your pack, so absolutely. I totally buy that. This of all places, you have this eldritch glow running over your fur. Yeah. So it sounds like the next step is mauling. Yeah. Let's do that. That is a roll with teeth. Go ahead and roll to maul. Tell me what you're aiming to do. Like, is knocking him off his horse the first step here?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I gotta not gonna forget. No, sure. Knock him off his horse.
Roll plus teeth.
You got
I got a partial success, which became a full one.
I think I want to get the first roll.
Yeah, good question. Defend territory. Each pack mate can improve their next roll on one of dominate, maul, or give it to the wolf by one category. So I think it stays a partial success. Though if someone else wants to use the pack bonus on maul, they can. So 7 to 9. Choose one from this mauling list, and then we'll narrate how that occurs. Everything all right?
Yeah, just looking at the maul.
I'll deal +1 harm.
All right. So let's work out the harm real quick. You are attacking with wolf claws and teeth. That's 2 harm right there. +1 harm brings it up to 3. He's gonna be looking in pretty bad shape here. You are kind of able to tackle him off his horse. He's not knocked out, right? He's in the fight, and in fact he's drawing that sword and slashing it across you as he falls. But he's well and truly ambushed, and you've taken a chunk out of his shoulder or wherever it is your claws sunk in. His sword, however, is itself armor piercing, given that it's a silver blade being wielded against a werewolf. Take 4 harm, and then roll the harm move for me, because this is your weakness.
I got a 7.
And that's plus your guts?
Yes.
Okay. So I've got the harm move in the basic moves tab. On a 7 to 9, you choose fight or flight, right? So if you choose flight, you're out of there. If you choose fight, I choose one of these consequences for you.
I pick fight.
Makes sense. I think. I think you miss noticing something important, and I think the Inquisitor has drawn his sword and slashed you with it, and he slipped something out of a pocket of his armor, but you don't see what it is, and you don't pay much mind to it. You are focused on the mauling. He's cursing. He's kind of calling down the vengeance and judgment of Avacyn on you unholy beasts, but he's kind of pressing the sword against Alice and trying to scramble away, right? And
Yeah.
at that point, that a tree trunk comes down on his horse as Rena's doing her job. Cawle, your plan is to hold back?
For now, yes.
Serafina, what do you do?
The moment Alice breaks cover, I am half a second after her, because it's in other words, as soon as he looks, then I am running top speed, quiet, and leap halfway when I'm to him.
Nice.
And just slam into him full force.
Are you going to give into the give into
Absolutely.
the wolf maul sequence here?
No question.
And before we do the roll, if I'm hopefully interpreting right the bonus of the pack move, right? I think you get a choice, like which of these you want to apply the bonus towards, to apply it to give into the wolf or apply it to the subsequent mauling.
Okay, if you apply it, but you get a 10+, do you not apply it?
No,
Okay.
if you apply it and get a 10+, then it's gilding the
Okay.
lily. Right.
No, I'll apply it. In that case,
To give into the wolf.
yes.
All right, go ahead and make the roll plus
And I got
feral for that.
got a 9, so it pops to a 10.
Makes it a 10. Yeah, choose 2 from the given to the wolf benefits.
Okay, I'm going to kick 2 back to the pack pool, and I'm going to go with +1 harm.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. +1 harm, and then you're and then the time comes to maul.
Right, because this is a coordinated move, and now bite. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you've wolfed out. You're attacking. You're
I'm using my
kill?
Huh?
You're going for the kill?
Oh yes, 11.
Beautiful.
Serafina's very fast.
You choose 2 from the mauling list.
Okay, so I'm going to deal +1 harm, so that's a total of +2 harm. And I'll discern his next move.
Oh man, I mean, so you were attacking for let's see, 2 harm plus 2 harm, so
Yes.
4 harm total. He's dead, but I'll give you discern his next move anyway, since he's gonna try to hurt you on his way out. The blade in his hand flashes out. It nicks you for 1 harm, but you have your wits enough about you to know that's the distraction, right? Like the real counterattack is that he's got a hand full of blessed wolfsbane that he's trying to ram down your throat with the last of his strength.
Okay, and I just roll away as hard as I can.
Nice. Give me an act on instinct to successfully dodge that.
$12.
Serafina, you are beasting
hitting my
it.
protective beat hard.
You are beasting it. Pardon the pun. Describe how you succeed. Give a little flourish and take +1 to the pack pool.
So, his hand comes up and I grab his wrist in my teeth. And as he's trying to shove it down to me, and I'm just holding on until his strength goes limp.
Gives out.
Until his strength gives out and he falls limp. And then I carefully spit his hand out and back and take a couple of steps back. That's wolf's. I know, and I'm a wolfie.
You can understand each other in wolf form.
Oh, you can? Okay. I say that's wolfsbane.
and that's the Inquisitor dead, right?
Who's hurt?
Uh,
Alice. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You better change back.
I change.
I lick the remaining the wounds you have left.
Yeah, Alice, you have I think one wound left over after changing back. So you're looking like a human who's just a little like bruised and nicked and whatever, right? But the like gaping sword wound in your chest was like healed up as you changed from wolf form to human form. Cawle,
I lick the wound, and then I'm going to turn away with a growl and start to sniff at the ground where the cairn thing was.
Absolutely. I do want to check whether Cawle
Sure.
wants to roll sniff it out or another move to represent hanging back from the fight and trying to gather information.
Yes, I'm feeling the balance.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's what you call it. Please. Are you hitting one of the basic moves, or you want to use your fixer move here? I guess that's more working context, right? That's a little different.
And it's the other one's only like once per session, so I did that at the beginning. So basic one.
Harness the wolf. Then roll.
There it is.
Okay. Roll plus heart. I got clarification from the designer about this, and we're playing with heart on the harness the wolf roll.
Okay, so that's +1, and 7 + 1 is 8.
All right, you get one of the harness the wolf questions.
Okay. Okay, so that's where is the trail? Where's my prey?
Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? You pick up the sense here, right? You came wondering whether Claire's perfume was going to be the scent you picked up, but that's not what you smell. You are smelling formaldehyde and the kind of acrid after scent of electricity. There were creatures of necroalchemy here, despoiling the cairn of the wolf pack. And they left for the mountains. There's a relatively fresh trail leading away from the cairn off towards the nearest mountains.
Okay. After I get the nose full, I spit on the ground and say it's the alchemist. They went that way into the mountain paths.
Serafina nods. She hasn't transformed back.
So she's still in wolf mode.
Yeah. She growls deep in her throat and loud. And she starts to pad off down the scent trail.
Just walking away from the pack at this point.
No. She stops a moment and she looks back.
Inviting everyone to follow.
So do you have to roll to change into a wolf, or can you just change into a wolf?
You can just change into a wolf. You can get the benefits of the transformation by rolling give into the wolf, but you can freely take the form of a wolf.
I get it. Then I'll finally transform then and follow.
We haven't seen Cawle as a wolf yet, have we? What does it look?
Nope.
What is his wolf form like, and kind of how does he take the transformation?
He's not very impressive as a werewolf. He's definitely, I would guess, even Amsel is bigger than him in
Wow.
wolf form.
So Emsel's smaller in human form, but bigger in wolf form.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. So like Emsel will like go wolf and then like, kind of like jostle up against Cawle, just like just in a friendly way, but also definitely enjoying being bigger.
Yeah, and he's a straight black, and looks a little bit mangy, as if he's not got all his fur in the right places. Some bald patches.
Alice, do you follow as well?
Yes, I go along with him.
All right, then in the
So
in the
werewolfy,
moonlight,
and then
over the blood spattered clearing, we see our wolves starting to walk, and we see kind of left lying by the cairn, with a drop of the human's blood spattering it, that stone gnawed into the likeness of Lilith, just resting there by where the grave dirt has been freshly disturbed. And let's take our second break on that note, if that's all right with folks.
if I may, I'd like to do
Yes,
just
let me
one
hear.
quick thing. So, Seraph, after people have followed into the woods a short turn, she turns, and you say the wolves can communicate.
Yes, yeah.
And
You
she
can. You
says,
can't talk to humans, but you can talk
she
to
says,
fellow werewolves.
"No more caution. This outrage will be repaid. If you are with me, we will find these people and we will kill them." And
Is that a stirring speech before a common endeavor?
yes, and we will, and the ancestors will bless anyone who falls. I think
Yeah.
they have disturbed our bones, she says, and we will make them pay for that outrage. And then she turns back and continues to walk.
Does anyone disagree with the plan? All right, that's 3 more for the pack pool then.
Thank you for letting me get that in.
Yeah, no, that works for me. Let's take that second break. Be back at take a full 12 minutes. Be back at 1:30, and we'll do just a little bit more before we conclude our session for tonight. Hey, how's everybody doing? Excellent. After all that excitement, let's check in again about heartbeats. Whether there were any more heartbeats that got hit during the recent scene. Serafina, anything that you feel should be marked here?
Protective.
Absolutely. Go ahead and mark that down, probably on the wolf path. Cawle, any of your heartbeats playing a role here?
Maybe responsibility, because I was completely afraid that was Claire, and so I was trying to cover to make sure that, or try some way to, protect her if she had taken that step.
Yeah. Okay, I buy it. You can mark that whichever path makes sense to you.
If I think I've already got the human path full, so
Got it. So
Yeah, if you're feeling responsible towards Claire, it's hard to mark the wolf path.
yeah.
So.
Okay. So we'll keep an eye out for times when your heartbeats can hit in your wolf form or in kind of wolf business here. Then, Drew, Alice, anything outstanding here?
I think Alice should take sacrificing.
Take what?
I think you should take sacrificing.
Yeah, okay.
You were the first one in against the Inquisitor.
Sure.
Which is the most dangerous move.
I marked that off.
And you almost got terribly hurt. So
Yeah, I buy it. You were the tip of the spear on that ambush. You took the brunt of that silver sword also. So sacrificing makes sense to me. Yeah. Then I want to pick up with our wolf pack. Let me get just make sure I have clarity about the alpha's intention here. Is the idea that you are leading your pack to just to assault the Grimm Keep, as this group of werewolves, right? Not waiting around for the human scouts and hunters to turn up.
not anymore.
Yeah, I mean they've lost the Inquisitor, so hard to be sure of how that'll go for them. Then yeah, let's.
But we're still werewolves. This will be a stealth assault. We're not going to declare ourselves and fight toe to toe. That would be their advantage.
Yeah, I buy that. Yeah, so in a moment I'll possibly put forward a little on the fly custom move for this pack infiltrates a dangerous place thing, right? Because this is a game about pack dynamics. It's less about going on a Blades in the Dark score or whatever, but we can twist something together that will cover this and give us some cool material to kind of to do that montage, right? But first, I'm interested if there's any conversations among the kindred of the pack as they are making their way in wolf form, out of the woods and up into the foothills of the mountains.
Cawle's definitely going to be sheepish and near the back, and keeps saying, cry pardon every once in a while. And I'm sorry you got hurt, Alice. It's my fault. I slipped up. Made
Mistakes.
a mistake.
Serafina says mistakes happen, and she doesn't say anything else.
She's somewhat silent, would you say?
Yes, but not angry at Cawle.
Okay, just preoccupied. Alice, what do you say?
Let's do this.
Alice.
Let's do this. That's it.
No, Alice, says Serafina. if I fall but we don't all die, please take my bones back.
I'll do that.
I want to be buried with some of the people I knew. And do what little I can to protect the place after I'm gone.
Rena says, "Don't worry so much, boss. You're gonna be all right."
The important thing is that they're not going to be all right.
No, they will not. She kind of grins.
And you know to stay away from those choppers this time, right?
Gives a like little like worried wolf nod. You
Yeah, and
see
I
a
bump-
little like scrap
bump-
of like horse flesh still dangling from her mouth from when she was worrying at the Inquisitor's horse.
Yeah, I bump her head with mine, and go. I knew I could. Knew there was some way to get sense in there, and give a little wolfish chuckle.
Amsel is kind of practice pouncing at shadows and saying, "You're gonna put me in this time, right? Right? I didn't even get to get a piece of that Inquisitor back there."
Everyone's in.
Yes.
Everyone's in, but silent until the first teeth sink. All right?
You got it, says Absol in like a sort of
We can
stage
talk, but once we
whisper
get close,
of the
once we
wolf.
get close, and we start to stalk, absolute silence until the first teeth sink into the first flesh.
Is that a dominate?
That's not a dominate.
Okay.
That is
just
that is
laying
just
out
saying.
a plan.
Yeah, and just reminding the puppy that I'm only going to dominate him if I have to. In fact, I'm going to look at him and say, "No, don't make me order you to do that. Show that you're grown up enough not to need that."
They say, "Got it. Yes, got. Yes. I'm grown up. I can do it."
Good.
All right.
God, this trail's easy to follow. Needs to think.
Yeah, they're
The
not.
ancestors for small favors.
They're not doing anything to hide their trail here. There's the occasional like lopped tree where clearly one of the ghouls just took a moment to take a swing at it on their way. Cool. Any other kind of interactions people want to make sure we see before we sort of find out how this stealth mission plays out?
Yeah, I think Cawle might whine every once in a while in wolf voice or whatever, where it's just because he's overtaken with worry at this point because he's starting to think there's some. He's waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I'm gonna
Something's not sitting right.
Yeah, I'm gonna nip you.
Just to like convey like get your head in the game.
Yeah, just get your head in the game.
All right.
It's like
Yeah. Head stays down and keeps plodding forward.
All right. So here's what I'd like to do. We're gonna say, that even on a stealthy approach, the Grimm Keep is well guarded, right? So like the camera pulls back and we see this ruin of a crenellated keep, in the mountain, and there's a tall tower that seems to crackle with electricity, right? Like something's not right up there, and then there's occasional sort of flash of lightning. It illuminates not only crumbling stones, but strange, shifting masses as stitched together undead monstrosities kind of roam amongst the tumbled walls of the keep and in the surrounding mountainside. And so, as the wolves approach, I think we get some sort of a montage of how they evade or ambush a number of these ghouls created by necroalchemy, right? There are some that are just like hulking Frankensteins, and some that have 6 different limbs coming off in unnatural angles, and then you see in the sky above you one that has these awful stitched together wings made of skin, and it seems it's gliding and looking with its too many eyes that have been stuck into its face all around. So I'm going to ask each of you what stat you're most relying on to make your way past or occasionally through the various sentries, and then you're going to roll with that, and we'll do a little montage where we get to see you being an awesome werewolf, kind of dispatching or tricking the undead guardians of this place, and you will take some some harm along the way, depending on how that roll goes. Does that sound fair as a way to to adjudicate this kind of slight heightening of the genre as we're doing a midnight stealth assault on a keep full of the undead? Cool. I'm gonna go backwards across the character keeper. Alice, what's the stat you're relying on most to deal with the obstacles in your way here?
Probably teeth.
Yeah. Okay. So taking a straightforward approach, destroying whatever presents a threat.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a roll plus teeth.
I got a 10.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, give me a like an image, or a couple shots that show how Alice is relying on ferocity and tooth and claw to make a path through the dangers here.
I think like with her fight with the first zombie, just sort of like being clever, baiting them into moves, dodging, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's many an undead fiend left in your wake, and you take a mere 2 harm in the process as you reach the Grimm Keep. Cawle, let me ask you, what stat are you relying on most?
I think I'm probably going to be relying on guts, just to see if he's got the intestinal fortitude to stay on mark.
Yeah. So it's all about the defiance here, right? The
and I
facing
think
his own fears.
And he's going to be trying to be protective of Amsel,
The youngest,
they're
the
new.
one who's and the one who's stood up for you in the past, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and make a roll plus guts, and let's see how that goes.
All right. So, that's an 11 plus 1, 12.
Really nice roll there. Okay, yeah. Give me a sense of how Cawle's guts see him through when these kind of
Okay.
these awful abominations are stalking the environs of the castle here.
Okay, I think we get a scene where you see Amsel might have went too far out on an attack, and you see Cawle jumping in and taking out a zombie as it was coming up on her flank to try and do harm to her, and he'll take the hit that would have been for her, them. Sorry.
For them. Yeah. Take take just 2 harm to represent the damage along the way. But without you have not been there's no alarm been raised, right? You've as a pack dealt with the creatures that leapt out, and Amsel like kind of like gives you a little yelp of respect for your stepping in to assist them. Uh, probably Amsel respects you even more if you don't make a big deal out of it, right? And just let them keep charging ahead as well. Serafina, what are you relying on here to make your way to the Grimm Keep?
Instinct. So these so the trying to avoid these and find the best way in. It's like these things must have a place they come and go, and whoever makes them must have a way they come and go. And there's got to be a way in.
There's got to be, absolutely. Do you think this is a role with Feral then?
I think this
rely
is
on
with
your
heart.
Oh,
because that
okay.
is harness the wolf now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, no.
Your instincts are partially about having that.
Well, you harness the wolf is heart now.
Open heart. Yeah. Go ahead and make a roll with heart, and we'll see how this all plays out.
13.
How is it that the dice are so?
They
so
adore me today.
Yeah.
Not previous times. I missed several times.
Serafina, tell me what it looks like as you find the secret way in.
So I see that the things are coming and going by a number of ways, but I know an old keep like this must have a sally port. And probably the who's ever inside has used it, to come and go stealthily because it's hidden.
Nice.
But they didn't disguise their scent quite well enough.
Yeah, I love it.
And I pick it up in a set of there's a the Grimm Keep's magical, right?
So
or maybe it's got some residual magic.
It's the sort of thing where someone might say, magic. This is science. It's merely too advanced for your minds to understand. But yes, sure, it's magical, right?
Right.
Channeling the forces of nature to bring back the dead to a shanty.
So Serafina is sniffing the ground, and she goes, "Oh, you cunning bastards!" And she goes right over to a piece of wall, and she walks through it.
Huh.
And it's an illusion that's hiding, that then goes down some steps to a hidden doorway.
Amazing. So there isn't a wall there at all, and
there's not it looks like a continuation of the curtain wall. It is something that unless you fell against it, you would never find it, except that someone used it in the last week or so, and their scent trail is still there faintly.
Nice.
And so they bollocks their carelessness, which wouldn't have mattered against anyone, without senses like ours and looking for it. But and that door was largely guarded by the illusion. It's not a super heavily reinforced door, because who could ever find it? And a heavily reinforced door would make it difficult to escape from. And that's the whole point of this, is it's an emergency escape. but it also
Mhm.
makes a perfect way in.
That's wonderful, and just go ahead and mark 2 harm for me, just to represent the wear and tear of this journey, or any of the
Oh,
scraps we
absolutely.
got in along the way. But
Oh yeah, no, we had to take some of
oh
the
yeah,
sentries down, I'm sure, and that didn't. They're awfully strong.
but yeah, if the rest of you follow Serafina through that seemingly solid wall, you'll find yourself passing through this illusion and into a hidden entrance. Uh, a way in that brings you within the walls of the Grimm Keep. And once inside, they are strangely deserted. No more undead sentries. It's like everything has been sent out into the surroundings of the fortress, and kind of following the sense of of activity, of things, things kind of being done and dust being disturbed. You are able to make your way to what's clearly the sort of the central laboratory of this cursed place. And as you step in and find yourself in a vast stone room with kind of large vats and kind of glass containers full of strange bubbling liquid, set up all through the place, right? It's kind of a maze of these things. Alice, what's one particularly kind of horrible perversion of nature that is floating in one of these vats?
They tried to make a flying zombie, but the weight to thrust ratios are all off, so they had to peel away a bunch of flesh.
Absolutely. Cawle, what's another kind of awful experiment that you glimpse as you move through this place?
I think it might be an animal sewn onto a human, is a hybrid experimentation.
Yeah, like someone had tried to make a centaur
Yeah.
using part of a horse and part of a poor human. Absolutely. Yeah, and then you move through this place and are drawn to a particular section where you see kind of in the vat the corpse of a werewolf in mid transformation, right? Partly in their human form, partly in their lupine form, and there are kind of wires and diodes, attached to them, like someone was studying exactly how this transformation could work.
Do we recognize?
I mean, it's poor old Albrecht.
He didn't deserve this. No one.
Oh, didn't he? I thought he deserved death, Serafina.
Where is he?
This voice had echoed.
I know who the voice is.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
From behind one of the vats, in human form, but not perfect human form, right? Kind of bits of the wolf still clearly present, as if he's found some new balance of his own. Is someone who's still clearly recognizable as Georgie, and he says,
This can't be.
I've been wondering when you would make your way here to see the discoveries I've made.
Serafina's struck dumb. This isn't, and then she finally recovers her voice. She's going to turn back human so she can speak.
Yeah.
This isn't. How? Why?
The humans were just interested in playing God here. But Serafina, I've made this place mine now. I killed the scientist, but not before I made him tell me his secrets. And we can bring her back, Serafina. We can bring Lilith back.
As an abomination.
As our child.
I don't believe you. Nothing here is wholesome. Nothing here is good. You've been here. This isn't right.
Breaking up our family wasn't right. I'm going to fix that.
No. No, I'm not. The pack. It's not my wishes that matter here. It's the pack's. It's not my heritage, my laws, my traditions, but everyone's here. There's not a day. There's not.
Do you really believe the pack is with you? They support your outmoded traditions?
I don't care if they do. I support them. That's my duty. Even if every one of them hated me, it would still be my duty.
Cawle's gonna just growl after that and just go running amp and trying to take the guy in the throat.
You're charging Georgie. Do you want to make a roll here, or are you cool with?
Oh no, I'm gonna fail.
Yeah,
I'm the smallest werewolf.
That's what I thought might happen. That kind of punctuating image here, right? Like as we end on our cliffhanger is like Cawle makes this charge and then gets like swatted aside, smashing into one of these vats, and green liquid goes flying everywhere. If it's all right with folks, we might end on that intense note.
I think we must
back for our finale next week. Yeah?
I know that Serafina is paralyzed.
Yeah. Understandably. Let's just check in. Any other heartbeats that people want to flag for any more experience before we wrap things up.
Yes. Yeah.
Cawle, I'll give you one for Torn. because you this time were torn more, it seems, in the direction of your pack. Yeah.
Yeah. I finally made a wolf decision, which is
Finally
rare.
made a wolf decision. Yeah. Mark that wolf pack. That seems eminently fair. All right. Well, we have one more session of this. I'm excited to see where it all goes. If anyone has been watching along with us, thanks so much. We'll be back next time with the thrilling conclusion. But till then, stay safe out there, and good night.